Oh, I'm good then. I'm good. Sorry. I was meeting with my medical team. Whatever. Did meet with them though. All right. Good afternoon. Apologize for being late. Sorry about that.
What did they say about Carson?
You've been waiting for this day forever.
For 12 months.
I know, for 12 months, right? No, he has been cleared. He has been cleared, and so we're all excited about that.
What were some of the final steps that he had to clear to be?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not going to get into the whole report because it's lengthy, but I mean, just medically, where from the date of surgery to where he has it today, through his, all his rehab, through 11 on 11, through everything he did in the weight room, everything about it was a big part of getting to this point.
Is there any hesitation on your part that you start him Sunday regardless? I mean, did you think about giving him a week to be cleared for contact, or was this just he's cleared, he starts?
I mean, he's cleared, he goes. I've said all along that he's our guy. We drafted him to be our guy, and it's kind of like week one. I mean, a lot of your starters, guys like Jason Peters, Sproles haven't been used to a lot of contact, whatever, a little bit in camp, but we're cleared to go, and we'll go.
The data you keep on Carson, can you kind of tell where he is compared to last year? Are there areas where you still expect him to kind of gradually ramp up, or what do those kind of numbers tell you about where he is physically?
Well, last year I thought he took a really big step forward in the situational aspect of the games. Knowing the down and distance, knowing where he is on the field, things that he took a big step forward last year. Obviously, with every year, we can continue to get better in those situations from a quarterback standpoint. But I think just watching him, move around physically and some of the things he's done. I mean, just he's ready, and he's ready to take the reins again and move forward.
What's realistic for him? His first game back, he hasn't played football in a long time.
What do you mean? What's realistic?
Realistic, is he going to be the same player we saw last season right away, or is that going to take some time?
I think there's going to be maybe an issue or two. It's going to take some time to get back into the rhythm and the flow of the game. The speed of the game is different than the speed of practice. And so we do everything we can to try to simulate that during the week and try to prepare him that way. And listen, he's a guy that will be totally prepared. He comes in early, studies the tape, as do all the quarterbacks. Stays, obviously late in the day, asks a lot of questions, has a lot of ideas. So he's going to be prepared mentally. Now it's just a matter of the physical part taking over.
Will there be any restrictions? And will you need to temper his aggressiveness?
No, I mean, in my mind, and we all felt the same way that he's cleared, and there's no need to hold back. Now, we're still going to have conversations, no different when he was healthy. We're still going to have conversations about protecting yourself, as we do with all the quarterbacks, and making sure we do the right things there. But there's no limitations.
As far as your play calling goes, Doug, as you're easing him in, making sure that he's not getting exposed a whole lot early on.
Well, I mean, think about the game yesterday. How many times did Nick get hit? And it's part of the game. You can't. Thing is, I'm not going to coach scared. I'm not going to coach paranoid. I'm not going to go in thinking, oh no, we can't do this, we can't do that. We just have to continue to go play, and I got to coach that way, and that's where the confidence with the team comes, by doing that. But now, if there's opportunities to, max the protection and do some things there, we'll do that by game plans, by design. But I don't think that things are going to change too much.
What's the conversation like with Nick, who wins the Super Bowl MVP and now goes to the bench?
The greatest thing for me is that room has no egos. And Nick all along has understood that this is Carson's football team. We drafted Carson to be the guy. And we owe a lot of gratitude to Nick Foles for what he's done, what he has done, obviously what he's done this season, and how he's led this football team. And he's a pro's pro. So no egos. They check him at the door, and he'll be very supportive, has been very supportive. And will be that way from here on.
When you got the official word that Carson was cleared, was he in the room with you? Or
Carson?
Yeah.
No.
So did you then get to be the one to break the news to him?
Yeah, no, actually our medical team was able to meet with him and talk with him and all that. And, we'll have more conversation today and these next couple of days, going over the game plan and getting ready for Indianapolis. But he was not in the room.
What was his initial reaction?
I mean, he's excited. He's ready. I mean, he was probably, in his mind, he was probably ready a month ago, but our plan was in place. He understood it, and he embraced that, and now he's ready.
How excited are you that he's back? How excited are you?
Well, anytime you get one of your starters back, it's great, and I'm excited to get him back out there. But at the same time, it's not about one guy, and we can't lose sight of that. We got other issues, offensively, defensively, and special teams that we need to coach up. And as exciting it is to have him back, your starting quarterback, we still have some other areas to fix.
On the radio this morning, you said that a team makes a miracle, and when you look at the healthy options you have on offense right now, do you think you have enough healthy playmakers around Carson right now?
I think we're constantly looking at adding depth and talent at any position and every position, and obviously that's probably the focal point right now. So we're constantly, Howie and his team and Joe Douglas are constantly looking to help, better our roster. And so we're in that process right now. Yeah, he's a week-to-week guy. I'm not going to put a timetable on him. It's very similar to Carson Wentz. And when he's cleared, I'll let you know on him.
Doug, you said that Carson probably thought that he was ready about a month ago, and you alluded to this before. What kind of process, how difficult was, I guess, to kind of massage his feelings in terms of his competitiveness about wanting to play, and you guys obviously listening to the doctors?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a fine line, but there's I guess the thing too is just having conversation and being open with him, being honest with him, and saying that and just reiterating this is our plan for you, the health of you, and he and I having conversations and saying, listen, I want you to be, regardless if Doug Pederson is here or not, I want your career to extend for many, many years. I don't want to rush anything, any decision like this. So he was very, obviously very appreciative of that and the fact that we were having conversations, just about weekly, that this is for his benefit, not for anybody else's.
And so to follow up on that, you were reluctant to talk about the plan, so to speak, during the past month or two. Now that it's over, was this the plan all along to have him back for week 3? Was this a target?
No. It was basically it was strictly a medical decision, and we put it in. I say we, the organization, really put it in onto our medical team and said, hey, physically, when is he going to be ready? And whenever that date was, we were going to be ready to go. So it just so happens it's this week, but it was never really the idea or the intent that we got to say, hey, boom, let's focus on week 3. Could have been week 4 or 5. So who knows?
Mike Wallace?
I do know, but yeah.
Give an update on Mike Wallace.
Yeah, so Mike suffered a fibula fracture in the game, and will miss the next few weeks, obviously.
How about Jason Peters?
Jason Peters, he let's see, he had a quad in the game. Happened about the third or fourth play in the game. Tweaked it just a little bit, and so just couldn't put the pressure on it that he felt he needed to in the game.
IR for Mike Wallace? Is IR?
Not yet. Not at this point. We're still going to evaluate. He's got a few more tests here in the next couple of days, but we know exactly it's a fracture, and that's going to be a couple of weeks.
Well, can you just talk about the whole? I mean, obviously now you have 2 wide receivers on the 53 who aren't going to play. Mac is out. You have a lot of inexperienced guys around Nelson. What are your thoughts on that whole position right now, and going up against the Colts with this group?
Well, that's why it goes back to to us always and constantly looking outside to help bring in some guys.
It takes a while to get a guy. I mean, can you bring in a guy who can help you on
I think a veteran player. I mean, if you just ask me, a veteran player would be a lot easier to work with than a young rookie player. To get him caught up. Plus a guy that's had game experience. Definitely going to have to rely on the tight ends more. Going to have to rely on the running game a little bit more. And kind of lean that direction. Until we can figure this out.
Does that mean when you say rely on the run game and tight ends, do you, after these 2 games, kind of go back to the drawing board a little bit with you usually like 3 wide receiver sets and you haven't used Goddard or 2 wide receiver sets as much as 3? Are you going to reevaluate that and look forward? Or
Yeah, we'll evaluate that this week, as we do every week. But again, when we put game plans together, we try to utilize, our Zebra 11 personnel, 12 personnel, with the 2 tights and all that kind of stuff. I think we've had in the past, we've had some advantages there, from a personnel standpoint. But we're dealing with it right now. We're working through it, and we'll see where we're at on Wednesday when we go to practice.
that advantage you say you have out of your 11 personnel, is it more what kind of defense usually responds to that you like to do things?
A lot of times a team comes in with a third corner, typically, or moves a corner into nickel, and it's it's a difficult situation. Plus we can get a little more speed sometimes on the field, and those are all things we'll have to evaluate in the next couple of days.
Has Braxton Miller been here long enough to make an impression on you at practice?
Well, he had. I mean, he's made some an impression, but he's another one that we got to continue to coach up and see where he's at. Because he hasn't had any really exposure to our offense yet.
In talking to us after the game, Zach Ertz said the expectation can't be Carson comes in and is Superman and fixes everything. From your perspective, how much can improve by having Carson?
Well, I mean, I think he's accurate, in that statement. Carson's not Superman, obviously. It's going to take all 10 other guys around him, to get it done. Listen, as far as the execution, I mean, he's going to see the same things that Nick was seeing, from defensive structure to blitzes, protection, the whole thing. So, we just got to make sure that we have those guys coached up, and that he's going with the right, going to the right places with the football and making the right decisions in the run game. But I don't think it's an attack one way or the other on the quarterback position.
In relation to Carson, what changed in 2 weeks? And how important was the 9-month?
I mean, that's important. I mean, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming that was a big factor in the decision. Was just the extra time to heal and to get stronger. With the injury.
When the organization is looking for help on the outside, and there's players that have a little bit of a past, what are the things that you're looking for, the questions that you want to get answered before you feel comfortable kind of signing off on a move like that?
Well, there's a lot of things, and I think the biggest thing, just not only can they play football, obviously that's an important part of it, because we're always looking for guys that can help us at any position, and can they play ball. But you also want to particularly look at guys that how well will the current team embrace players. We've seen it over the course of the last couple seasons. When we bring a guy like Jay in, and how the team embraces him and surrounds him, or a LeGarrette Blount, and these guys turn out to be awesome individuals and great teammates and great players. And so, you lean a lot on the character and the culture of the football team, a lot. And but can the guys that you want to bring to your team, can they help you win? Can they help you win football games? But again, it's not an all-cost decision that you make moves like that.
Doug,
So much of Carson's game last year was using his legs to not just scramble but to buy time. Is he going to be able to do that right away? Does he have the mobility right now?
I will see.
Doug, in hindsight, for yesterday's game?
That was the last one.
That was the last one.